Today we are going to look at a few wild edible plants that can be found in wintertime around the Denver metro area. Here we have a stand of dead reedgrass, which can be found by the edges of streams, ditches, ponds, and marshy areas. In the winter, most of the plant is not good for eating, but the underground roots often form dense clumps and they are edible raw or cooked. Simply wash and scrub the roots and then peel them before eating. I did try to dig up some of the roots with a stick so you can see them, but I didn't get too far because the ground is frozen. I will have to wait until the ground softens a bit on a warmer day or something. I could eventually get to the roots, but I would spend more calories digging them up than I would get from the root itself, and in a survival situation that would eventually lead to starvation. Here are some prickly pear cacti. They're a bit dry, but they could help in a survival situation. The easiest method of preparation would be to roast them on a fire to burn the spikes and spines off, then peel them to eat the insides. They can be eaten raw if you can figure out a way to slice them open without poking yourself. Raw, they taste a little bit like a cucumber. Here is a cottonwood tree, one of the most abundant trees in North America. The inner bark layer of this tree can be eaten raw, or it can be cut into strips or chunks and cooked like pasta to soften them up a bit. I recommend removing tree barks only in survival situations because it will most likely kill or permanently damage the tree. So survival situations only. And here we have some wild rose hips. The plants are short and thorny, and here is a close look at a rose hip. The bright red skin is a valuable winter source of vitamin C, and the hard seeds inside can be ground up to make a sort of tea high in vitamin E. Here's a look at some serviceberries still hanging on from the fall, which can be used for making jams, preserves, and they can also be eaten raw. Not the best tasting berries, but an important survival food, and it's pretty plentiful in this area. They grow on short plants, usually in large groups. Here are some sumac trees with dark red fruits clustered at the top. Poison sumac has white berries, but I haven't seen any in Colorado. The fruits can be eaten raw, but most people make a lemonade type of drink by pouring boiling water over a container filled with them. Then you let the liquid cool, strain out the solid parts and fibers with a coffee filter or strainer, add some sweetener, some sugar, honey to the liquid, and let it cool for a refreshing hot or cold drink. You can also collect them and dry them for storage for later. Here's something you will want to watch out for. This is poison hemlock. It is often one of the first green plants that pop up in the spring around this area, and apparently some warm spurts during the winter. It looks innocent enough, but it is deadly poisonous, so avoid getting these mixed up in your wild edible plants. Here is cattail. Most people will recognize these plants from the fluffy pollen heads growing around ponds, streams, and marshes. And like reedgrass, you can dig up the roots, wash, peel, and eat them raw or cooked. The fluffy pollen at the tops can be easily collected and used as a flour substitute for breads and foodstuffs. And here we have a juniper bush, which is easily spotted in winter, being one of the few green bushes around with small blue fruits on them. The berries are usually used to spice up other foods, but they can be eaten raw for survival food. Just be careful not to eat too many because they can irritate the kidneys. The berries are high in vitamin C and can be dried and stored for later use. So with that, enjoy, and I will see you on the next video.